If you look at this year's rookie class, they've actually been really productive. You see Donovan Mitchell and Ben Simmons playing terrific basketball in the playoffs. But also in the collegiate game, you see multiple schools, for example, Duke and or Kentucky, basically losing 3 to 4 players each year to the one-and-done rule. Do you foresee any changes in how that's administered?
I think we are going to see a change. I mean, as you know, any change that we make in our minimum age needs to be negotiated with our union. So I've been having conversation with Michelle Roberts. Chris Paul's the president of the union. We're not talking during the playoffs, but we agreed that we'd talk after the playoffs. And I think they're very focused on it as well. It's interesting. They're conflicted in the same way the league is. On one hand, we negotiated with the union roughly 11 years ago or so to go from minimum age of 18 to 19 because we thought we'd have a better draft. It wasn't about these young men need college. It was really more out of self-interest for the NBA, the notion that seeing players play that extra year of competition, a little bit more maturity, we're better off having them come into the league when they're a little bit older. On the other hand, I get this notion of, you know, Mark Zuckerberg dropped out of Harvard and Bill Gates did too, and nobody told them they had to stay in school and nobody told them they couldn't begin to earn a living when they were 18 years old. And on top of that, there is a sense too that maybe, you know, there are only so many superstars, and that when they come in at 18, in essence, you're getting another year of a superstar in the league. But the conflict comes. So our GMs are conflicted. Some of them feel, let's bring them that's drafted 18. Others think we should be at 20. And we even watch them play, have more experience before they come in. But then you hear it even now from veterans in the league, some of whom even were part of that last class who came in at 18 saying, I don't know, you know, it's like the young guys are a little bit immature in the league, and maybe they could use a little bit more seasoning before they come into the league. And it is tough being around the really young guys. So everybody's a bit conflicted. I think it's a perfect issue for us to sit down with the union, especially outside the bright lights of economic collective bargaining, because I think it's an issue that we should work through with our players as to what's in the best interest of the league overall. And I would just add, there is a factor of what's going on in college right now. Things, as controversial as some of the practices have been, we've never lived through a period before where 11 people have now been indicted around college basketball. That's ongoing. Condoleezza Rice, former Secretary of State, of course, is overseeing a commission. She was appointed by Mark Emmert. She's doing her own investigation. I went down and spoke to her in Washington, D.C. I know Michelle Roberts did, the shoe companies did, a lot of agents around the league to give them a sense of what's really going on. And they're going to be making recommendations as well. And it's clear that the college community doesn't seem to want the one-and-done players anymore. So I think we, you know, putting aside the self-interest of the NBA, I think we have to be responsive to the larger basketball community.